Now, you'd say it's been a week of heckling, people being heckled left, right, and center. When you start with Thika yesterday, where Alice Nganga received her first thorough heckling, where ground was shouting Matiang'i, which is the basis of our own story today. You go all the way to Nyanza, where Wanga was speaking, and of course she was being heckled. A lot of heckling was taking place there because of now the current power dynamic within the ODM party. As the chairperson of the ODM party was speaking to the people, from the video we have just played, you can see a lot of people heckling and shouting the name of Babu. And Wanga is trying so much to consolidate that support and maintain that ground, trying to even explain herself in sensible terms, saying that they have stayed in the opposition for quite some time and it's not an option anymore. They want to stay in government, and hoping that the people would see the sense in wanting to be in government, even asking them whether they still would prefer going back to the streets. And the constant chant is Babu in the streets. So Wanga should actually read the room. Kama nalinda wananchi ama nalinda ground, inakaa kwamba the ground has distanced itself from the protection that Wanga is trying to offer in their cohort. And of course now the mwananchi are somewhere where they feel safe and protected, away far from the ground. Now away from that, the senator of Homa Bay County also, both the senator and the governor, was heckled, because when the senator was speaking, he was also heckled.
Wanga.
Siasa osepogore mrengo ariyo. Mrengo mokwongo en broad-based government kotelne gi William Samoei Ruto Oburu Oginga. Mrengo mar ariyo mar Gachagua. Emomiyo uneno joma uduoko. Discipline member of the party. Yalo. Jakom wan weche ma joneko wacho en waluwo. Jaero nuyiego weche ma neko sekalo ting'o bang' gimalo fwana mare ka jakomone. Sifuna. Wangia business unakaa fafaya. Wangi nyangoya kacha. Wangi.
Yeah, now after that heckling took place where he was speaking, and of course the people are shouting the other name, you can see now the fate of the ODM party and its division in its backyard. That aside, the UDA party was also receiving heckling somewhere, where people were stepping down on those particular UDA banners and shouting one term. Kenyans are angry. You can see the picture of the woman in the video of the woman stepping down on that particular marker and very, very angry, shouting one term. Away from that, go to the Nyanza area again in Siaya, where ahead of the Kakamega tour for both Babu Owino and of course Honorable Edwin Sifuna, sources reveal certain MPs have been directed to talk to the Kisumu people and talk to the entire Nyanza and Western people so as to detest the rally of these people when they come there. Now, these political moves are very evil if you are to treat them that way, but they're being done for convenience and survival of other political powers. And it seems in the Kisumu area and in the entire Western area, there is a hostile ground that is being prepared, of course, for the Linda Mwananchi tour if they decide to go there. Listen to these particular statements, for example. Yeah, so they have allegedly been paid by Atandi. You see, they're saying that they've been paid by Atandi, and they have been paid to do what exactly? As it says, they have been paid primarily, of course, to ensure that there is chaos on that day. So those concerns are there, and they are very, very worrying. In Siaya now, these particular women have come out clearly saying that they were given 50 shillings to ensure that they resist Orengo, and now they are saying Orengo Jew, and the people that paid them is actually again is Atandi and Honorable Sam Gumbo. So these conversations are going on where heckling is going on and preparation of the ground is going on. It's a lot. It's across the country. Now, away from that story, if you've stayed with us for the 3 minutes of just following this heckling, then let me remind you again, please hit the subscribe button. If this is your first time, we have this target of hitting 4,100 and beyond, and our real target is really hitting 5,000 before the month ends. But today we have a target of hitting 4,100. So if you hit the subscribe button, you are really helping us on reducing those numbers. And if you've already subscribed and now you're a member of the People's Mirror, please just like the video so other people might get to interact with it, and they can also become part and parcel of this big community we are building that gets to engage through the comments section when it comes to the political happenings in the Kenyan political scene. And also we will be here on our end ensuring that of course you find these stories as timely, well researched and impartial as they happen. We pride ourselves as the first #1 impartial podcast when it comes to political matters in the Kenyan scene. So just hit the subscribe button and find our stories right here. Now let's start from the top. Heckling aside, the Alice Nganga, who has been very vibrant in this part of the northeast, in this part of the central part rather, pardon me for using northeastern, the central part, very, very vocal. We detailed her statements here last week when she was saying categorically that of course the position of the deputy president is non-negotiable, and when people get to the table to negotiate that particular position, then they are going to say that that position should remain for Kindiki. Now, while making a statement, she also gave an ultimatum. She said that in an event that it gets to a point where Kindiki is of course not the deputy president under President William Ruto's team in 2022, then they're going to leave the broad-based arrangement. Now, this threat of broad-based arrangement reminded us of something that she had said before, or she is being accused to have said before, that she's now sources reveal that she is one of the reasons behind, of course, the demolition of the business of Honorable Matiang'i. And if you take a look at our previous episodes here, the People's Mirror, I think around 20 to 24 episodes ago, but you can scroll, it's not so much task, you will find an episode where we detailed Matiang'i versus this lady, Honorable Alice Nganga, in an entire episode, and the fight around the demolition of the property of Matiang'i. Now, when Rigathi Gachagua went to Gatundu, he gave a revelation that the reason why Matiang'i's business essentially were attacked in the railway area is because certain leaders from the Mount Kenya area had said that if Matiang'i is not attacked, then they were going to leave the UDA party. Now you could connect the dots. Who is the biggest contender of Matiang'i? Alice Nganga, she wants the seat of the governor in 2027. So what was the terms? The terms was, if you don't destroy Matiang'i's businesses, we are living broad-based. And so who would have made those particular, who would benefit really directly for Matiang'i's business or Matiang'i's influence goes down? Of course, it's Alice Nganga. So you connect the dots and you say, okay, uko ndani ya UDA, wendo juzi umesema ati kama Kindiki yuko hapo mnatoka, and wewe ndo mnasemekana you are a leader from Kiambu, who also said ati Matiang'i kama vitu zake hazijavunjwa unatoka. Now that story mounts itself to when President William Ruto went to Kiambu, and of course you saw what happened where Alice Nganga was calling herself Mama Simba and all that stuff. Now yesterday there was this launch of a stadium that was taking place. The launch of stadium was taking a place somewhere in Thika town, and so Alice Nganga was there, and of course Matiang'i was supposed to be there, and when the speeches began, they converted themselves from cheers to this. Listen.
Asante sana Mama Simba oye! Mama Simba! Matiang'i amepata uoga, ameogopa kuja. Mwambie akuja banana na Mama Simba. Mama Simba akiguruma, Matiang'i anakimbia. Mama Simba akija, Matiang'i anakimbia.
Now, the ground is something different from what the politicians think it is. And over the past few days, Wanga has seen that right away, hand on hand. The senator of Homa Bay has seen that. And now even the member of parliament, of course, for Thika Township has seen that. Now, this is a pattern. If people can heckle a member of parliament in Thika, and just within the same day, people are heckling a member of the Senate in Nyanza and a governor in Nyanza, and the same denominator about all these people that are being heckled is one, that they are in the current government, then it's something that, of course, the current government need to look into moving into 2027. It's clear the image is out there, ladies and gentlemen. As impartial as we can put it, the ground is rejecting people that identify with President William Ruto's government. And I don't know what President William Ruto's government is going to do. I saw the video that was taking place, of course, of when the deputy president Kindiki was somewhere in Naivasha, was being rained on, and when now an umbrella was being brought over, he said no, don't give me an umbrella, and the Mwananchi are being rained on. And people have said these are the new tactics that politicians are using to show that they are part and parcel of the people, the part and parcel of the people. But that particular part and parcel of the people trying to show kind of thing is something that is going to lose its touch ahead of 2027. The ground has rejected President William Ruto's camp, and it is evident across all cohorts. Now that rejection happened, it's like Matiang'i is gaining traction and ground on his backyard, and of course he said he's still the governor and he's going back to be the governor. Remember, Kiambu County has never had one governor do 2 terms. So Matiang'i is actually going against a lot of odds to secure his 2nd term if he's trying to secure it against this lady. And this lady now, for the first time, you could see she was talking and people were shouting Matiang'i, and she was talking with so much, I don't know the word to use, the tone in her voice. If you know the perfect word for the tone that comes out when the member of parliament for Thika Township speaks, let us know in the comment section. Now, away from this story, because we have spent so much time on it, the heckling and stuff, let us go to now another shocker within the United Opposition, where people close to Kalonzo have now gone out publicly to say that, you know what, Matiang'i is a guy that they do not trust. Before we make political comments, listen to this.
Very, very quiet about this thing and very patient. Lakini sasa mimi kama mtu na kama kiongozi wa hii county and as the deputy minority leader in the Senate of the Republic of Kenya, mimi kuna maneno nimeona leo na nimesema sasa hii maneno ni lazima nitasema. Tumesikia kiongozi mmoja wetu anaitwa Bwana Matiang'i ameanza kuleta shida katika maneno ya the presidential candidate wa opposition. Anaanza kusema sasa mahali tumefika, we want the scientific research, sijui nini, tujue nani atachaguliwa akuwe flag bearer, tutakubalia watu wakae chini waongee wakubaliane. Ando maji na mkweli yate. Namo vigeneza? Nyinyi mnataka Kalonzo Musyoka akuwe presidential candidate ama akuwe presidential candidate? Akuwe presidential candidate. Na nyinyi mko tayari kusimama na yeye mpaka mwisho? Sasa mimi nataka niseme hivi. Kwa sababu hawa sasa watu wameanza kutumanage. You know, we are now being managed in a very, very funny way. Hii maneno ya kuwa managed kama Wakamba, na sasa naongea nikiwa nyumbani. Maneno ya Mkamba kuwa managed in respect of the presidential candidature wa opposition. Hiyo maneno iliisha na election ya 2022. Never again, and I say this nikiwa nyumbani kwa watu wangu, never again shall we be managed by anyone. Na mimi nataka kusema leo, na kiongozi wangu anasikiza mahali yuko na hajanituma, lakini nitasema hao watu wa opposition, by the time tumefika June, wapatie wa Kenya who the presidential candidate is. Kama wazela ndio mwende na sisi ina ndio ngune. Nyinyi mnasema presidential candidate atakuwa ni nani? Muongee na sauti, tuongee na Kenya. Nyinyi mnasema presidential candidate wa opposition atakuwa ni nani? Wale Kalonzo? Sasa hao watu wajue hii. In that team hakuna kiongozi mmoja ambaye amehitimu kuwa presidential candidate kushinda Kalonzo Musyoka. Sindio? So tuache kupeleka kuchukua Wakenya ufala. You know, Kenyans know what they want. Wakenya we want clarity. Yani tutembee tukijua this is our presidential candidate. Tuanze kupopularize as presidential candidate. Tuanze kujipanga tukijua the person mwenye atapeleka Ruto nyumbani ni Kalonzo Musyoka. Sindio? Wewe kusema ma UDA mbona nimewangie nimesema candidate wao na mama hizi. Sindio? Juzi nimeona hata wameambia watu wa ODM forget the presidency, forget the deputy. Wao wamejipanga. Sisi hapa bado tunakanyaganana sijui nini scientific nini no more. Nenda kwa siasa hii tasene kwa account ya kitui. You boya sito malika no maito dawasito ni ku make sure kana Kalonzo wa Musyoka wewe the presidential candidate wa United Opposition na alange makuwa na wena minya kuiga kiu please clear the way kama mazia ndo iende so as we know tuko na nani na hatuna nani. Because I believe na hii nasema nikiwa na watu wangu I strongly believe that Matiang'i is being used by the system to bring confusion in the opposition. That's what I believe. Yeye mwenyewe kama sio hiyo, he must draw the line and go with the decision of majority. Wala vile nimasikiza kila mtu anasema anataka Kalonzo. Kila mtu anataka Kalonzo, anataka Kalonzo. Sasa wewe maneno scientific sasa hizo ni kitu gani unakuletea? I mean sisi tunataka kutembea, hebu acha ndio ndio mwenye mimi kama senator akaunti ya Kitui. I want to challenge the other leaders who are members of the Wiper Patriotic Front. Watu ambao wanasema wanasupport Kalonzo Musyoka to be president. Na mimi nimeona pale ndani pia kuna wanafiki wengi sana. Wanafiki wengi sana pale ndani. Yaani saa ile Kalonzo Musyoka anakuja Kitui ama Machakos ama Makueni wamejaa pale na wamejaa na kupigwa picha na Kalonzo yao kuonyesha watu niko na Kalonzo but beyond their vision. Yani they can never even utter a word in support of Kalonzo Musyoka. Mimi nataka tuseme hivi jamani. Nenda ati kama wewe unaitisha kiti chochote from MCA to governor especially hapa kwa county ya Kitui, county ya Enoch wa Wambua, stop telling us about the Wiper ticket. Stop it. The only ticket ambayo kutafuta saa hii ni ticket ya Kalonzo Musyoka akuwe president. Sawa sawa? Sasa unakuja unatuzungusha huku, nipewe ticket, hata nimepewa tayari nimeshika, Sasa kama Kalonzo Musyoka mwenye ambaye anataka kuwa president anjapewa ticket ya kuwa president, wewe yako umepata umetoa wapi? Tuwapeke hiyo utwano badaiva maana na mimi nimechoka na hii maneno. So sitaki kusikia mtu anasema ati wao wana ticket ya chama cha Wiper from MCA to governor. Sasa hii tupiganie Kalonzo apewe ticket yake ya presidential candidate both na chama na coalition. Sawa sawa? Hii akishapata basi the rest is easy. Hiyo nyingine sio lazima upewe kitu kingine. Kalonzo akikuwa presidential candidate kila mtu kwenda ndio ndio matezeke. Tuko na mundu atezeke. Na tuone kama matezeke. No tengela munene anakuwa na kuopito. Ni Kalonzo wa Musyoka tu kile musumbi. Kama mwanzo na mwanzo ende. Mwanzo tu. Nani anataka nani naye? Nani anaweza? Mngone mkovi ndio nani? Basi. Hiyo sasa leo mimi siongei sasa nyingine nimefikisha hapo.
Now you can listen to what is coming out of the close allies of Kalonzo Musyoka, and the reason why close allies of politicians speak loudly sometimes is because sometimes they are saying the things that the actual politician might be feeling or is having as private conversations but cannot speak publicly. And so it's always very, very important also to actually listen. What is Senator Manzu saying when you want to listen to what Kalonzo is saying? For example, previously when Raila was alive, you'd ask, what is Sifuna saying? From President Ruto's camp, you'd say, what's Aaron Cheruiyot saying, or what is Sudi saying, what is Cherigei saying? These close political allies of a politician takes that pressure of the politician to communicate certain things. And so this particular statement that people have a side feeling towards Matiang'i, considering in the previous episodes that we were doing, I told you repetitively that, of course, Rigathi Gachagua right now says that when it comes to decision making, then the only person he feels fit to negotiate these decisions with is Kalonzo Musyoka. Sends a signal. It seems like internally they are feeling that, you know what, perhaps this is not really a guy to trust. And so that is as it is. That is the statement that is coming from the United Opposition close allies. They are feeling that Matiang'i's position is not solid. Please let us know in the comment section, ladies and gentlemen, what you think of this, and keep it here, the People's Mirror, for our subsequent episode.